Hi gamers! When it comes to playing Final Fantasy XIV solo, did you know that you have 3 options for NPCs to tag along with you, and that they each have their own pros and cons? While Squadrons are decidedly different, duty support and trust seem very similar on the surface. Do you know what the difference is? I'm Debbie, and here it is. Both duty support and trusts force you to enter solo, and require a standard small party formation of 1 tank, 1 healer, and 2 DPS. They both allow you to take the dungeon at your own pace, with the tank waiting for you to take point in between fights. Neither have a queue time or other players to roll against you on loot rolls, and they are both generally slower than a good duty finder party, with DPS measured to a standard of roughly 30 minutes a duty. Overly cautious of their prized Warrior of Light, they will only pull 1 pack at a time, and should anything go wrong and you fall in battle, they will immediately accompany you back to the start of the dungeon. But all that is generally where their similarities end. Duty support is the group of story-themed characters that can join you for duty-based content from your first dungeon in A Realm Reborn. They are always ready to go when you are, and as far as AI fighting goes, are far superior to the squadrons we had to rely on back in the day. Unlike your squadrons, however, they cannot be trained or assigned different tactics and will play their role consistently time and time again. They typically do mechanics correctly, which can be a benefit to an anxious player looking to learn the fight before playing it with others. Just follow what the NPCs do. You don't always get a choice of who to bring with you, it's whomever the grand companies can scrounge up most of the time. Though some have unique dungeon dialogue, many of them are just plain immemorable. But they get the job done and you can be back on your way through the MSQ, Wondrous Tales, or whatever else you may have been up to. Trusts, however, are a bit more involved. They are only usable for content in Shadowbringers and Endwalker, and they must be leveled up. They start at level 71 and, just like you, gain levels as they complete dungeons. They have to be a minimum level to access each dungeon, and unfortunately it will take multiple runs of each in order to get them a level. Because there are tanks, healers, and DPS in the Trust docket, you will need to complete each dungeon several more times to make sure everyone has a chance to level up. It is obvious at this point that this is a time investment, but the Trust NPCs each have their own very distinctive playstyle and dungeon dialogue, and interact with each other in different ways depending on the composition of your party. Because of this, they are not always dependable to do the mechanics properly. I'm looking at you, Thancred and Urianger. Or may decide to heal a family member's scratched elbow before their BFF who is literally bleeding out. Your reward for getting them leveled up, however, is a title for you and an additional outfit option for each of them once they all hit level 80, and again at level 90. I can't tell you if the titles are worth it, but I definitely got them to level 80 before Endwalker dropped, and I'm working on getting them all to 90 now. Oh, and before you ask, Squadrons, available through your Grand Company as you rank up, are restricted to only a few A Realm Reborn Heavensward dungeons, and their AI is so terrible compared to duty support trusts that they rely heavily on the issuing of orders you can do through the Squadron hotbar. Because of the requirements of unlocking them, you are unlikely to be able to use them for your first time through a dungeon, but they can be used to grind through dungeons for experience on alternate classes. Probably the one and only benefit to using Squadrons, aside from your ability to customize their appearance and recruit them, is the ranks they can pick up in tactics. Once you get to this point, they are able to complete dungeons considerably faster than duty support NPCs and makes grinding the dungeons you require go all the more quickly. So what do you think, gamers? Do you use Squadrons, duty support, or trusts? If so, which do you prefer and why? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much, patrons and gamers. I will see you in game.